Good morning. Today I'm going to tell you a story about a little sparrow named Cyprian. He lived in a very, very big tree that had as many hollows as there were sunflower seeds on a summer day. Cyprian had one special wing that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. When he flapped it up and down, he didn't fly like other sparrows, but instead embarked on a magical journey to a land that only he knew. It was the land of imagination, and in it, the most incredible things in the world happened. In the land of imagination, Cyprian could meet big pink dragons that breathed fragrant, fruity smoke. He could swim in rivers of lemonade and climb mountains made of fluffy cotton candy. When he returned home, his friends, Tosiek the bunny and Zuzia the squirrel, always listened with their beaks wide open. Cyprian told them about fish in hats that could fly, and about trees on which chocolate eggs grew. And his friends, although they knew it was all make-believe, listened to every fantastical adventure with smiles on their faces. One day, Cyprian, who was playing hide-and-seek with Tosiek, accidentally knocked over a basket of nuts that Zuzia had gathered. The nuts scattered all over the forest. Zuzia, seeing this, was very, very sad, and tears the size of raindrops appeared in her eyes. "Cyprian, did you knock over my basket?" she asked. The little sparrow felt a small, strange feeling in his belly. He didn't want Zuzia to be sad, or for his dad to be angry with him. He thought of his land of imagination and said, "It wasn't me. It was a big blue dragon that breathed smoke, flew by, and knocked over your basket." Zuzia and Tosiek looked at him in surprise. They knew there were no dragons in their forest, and Cyprian felt his heart become as heavy as a stone, and his special wings stopped shimmering. A lesson in truth and trust. In the evening, Cyprian told the whole story to his dad. "Dad, I lied. It was me who knocked over Zuzia's basket, not a dragon," he said quietly, bowing his head. Cyprian's dad, a wise old sparrow, sat next to him on a branch so Cyprian could feel his closeness. "My dear Cyprian," he said gently, "your imagination is the most beautiful treasure. Your stories about dragons are wonderful, but they must live only in the land of imagination, which is like a magic garden in your head. In our forest, in the real world, the most important rule is truth. Truth is like a solid bridge that will never collapse, and a lie is like a bridge made of ice that melts in the sun. The ice bridge might save you for a moment, but in the end it fails, and then we fall into the cold water. The truth always leads to the other shore." Cyprian thought about it. He understood that the lie had made Zuzia sad, and it made him feel bad too. He felt that even though his story about the dragon was interesting, it had hurt his friendship. The next day, with his heart beating like a little drum, Cyprian went to Zuzia and said, "Zuzia, I'm sorry. It wasn't a dragon. I knocked over your basket. I want to help you clean it up." Zuzia smiled, and her heart stopped being sad. Together, very quickly, they gathered all the nuts. Zuzia was so happy that she suggested, "Tell us about the dragons once we've gathered all the nuts." From that day on, Cyprian knew that in the real world, the most important thing is the truth. When he felt like saying something that wasn't true, he thought about how truth is like a solid bridge that you can always cross safely. He understood that while dragons are fantastic, true friends who trust you are the best treasure in the world. New friendships and big challenges. One day, a new deer arrived in the forest named Gaia, who claimed she could fly. Everyone believed her, and Gaia told more and more incredible stories. Everyone made her a beautiful home, and Gaia said, "But I don't need a home at all. I can fly." Everyone in the forest was worried that Gaia wasn't really with them because her stories didn't match reality. Tosiek felt that something was wrong. He went to Cyprian and said, "I don't know if I can trust Gaia. I'm afraid her stories aren't true." Cyprian immediately knew how Tosiek felt. He told him about the land of imagination and how some people mix it up with the real world. Tell her that you believe in her imagination, but you'd prefer her to tell the truth. Suggest that you make up stories together. That way you can have fun, and she'll learn that in imagination there are no rules, but in life, trust is important. Tosiek followed Cyprian's advice, and the new deer understood. She began to tell her made-up journeys, adding, this happened in my imagination, but it's so beautiful. Cyprian, who once was afraid to tell the truth, became the most trusted friend in the forest. And his wing, that special magical wing, shone even brighter because he used it not only for flying to the land of imagination, but also for helping others. One day, Cyprian and his friends were playing treasure hunt. Zuzia hid the nuts, and Tosiek and Cyprian had to find them. Suddenly, Cyprian saw a large shiny stone that glittered like a diamond. "I found the treasure! It's the biggest diamond in the world!" he shouted. Tosiek and Zuzia came over to look at it, but it turned out to be just a piece of glass. Instead of getting upset, Cyprian smiled and said, "It's not a diamond, but let's pretend it's the key to a magical castle." In this way, his imagination served for play, not for hiding the truth. From that day on, everyone knew that Cyprian's stories were the most beautiful tales, but that his most important quality was trustworthiness. He understood that the real treasure is not shiny stones, but friends who know they can always count on you. And remember that your imagination is a magical world, but in our real world, the most beautiful magic is telling the truth. Good night, my little friend. Sleep peacefully and dream of wonderful adventures in the land of imagination.